Hello, welcome to the Lilac Tree Tarot and to a general reading for the sign of Taurus. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It's really good to have you here. We're going to do a general reading that should cover the rest of August. I know I'm getting this out a little late. I apologize, Taurus, but you know, life happens. Things happen. Regardless, this should be good for the rest of the month. Lots of good stuff happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw 3 oracle cards, gauge the general energy surrounding Taurus for the month of August, and then we will get specifically into tarot. And then we'll take a quick look at the runes and the astrological dice that I threw for you. Now you can see what they are already, so feel free to use your own knowledge of the runes and the dice, and feel free to place any comments that you have on how they fit in with the rest of the reading in the comment box below. I would love that. All right, without further ado, Taurus, let's get into your reading. Thank you, Spirit. Please give me clear and accurate messages for Taurus. You got Spirit of Place. Let's see what else we got for you. Spirit of Place can sometimes talk about a real call to environmentalism in a way. Paying attention to how you interact with nature. Could also mean that you need to ground yourself in some way, but let's see what else we got for you, Taurus, before we make any assumptions and jump to conclusions. We don't want to do that. Let's see what we got. We've got Grow. Let's see what is on that card. Wow, beautiful little lizardy creatures like chameleons or bearded dragons. Some of you might have bearded dragons out there. They're pretty cool animals, but we got Grow for you. I like that. At the bottom of the deck we have Freedom with the narwhal. Real sense of either wanting to break free of something or feeling like you are about to break free from something. I like it a lot for you, Taurus. I like that Grow, but that's making me think of environmentalism again and nature and you getting out in nature. Let's see what Moonology would like to say. Thank you, Spirit. Please give me clear and accurate messages for Taurus, please. Hold your vision, fixed moon. All right, hold your vision there, Taurus. Looks like you've been working on something that's been growing. It could be, I'm feeling this more for you as a personal project, a home remodeling kind of thing. Some of you may actually be working on remodeling your home at this point in time, or just beautifying it, maybe even working in the garden. I am really getting a strong sense of being in touch with nature, being in touch with animals, connecting with animals. I don't take pop-outs, but you'll see the Ace of Discs just popped out for you, and the Ace of Discs is a seed. So maybe you have been, maybe not yet reaping the fruits of your literal vegetable garden. Maybe you're growing squashes and they're not ready yet to harvest, or close to being ready to harvest. Or we can take this metaphorically, where you have been working on something, it has been growing, it's not quite ready to harvest yet, but you can see signs of strength and signs of growth. With that fixed moon there, it's telling you to stay on that path. A lot of cards popping out. The Lovers, looks like you may have a decision to make. The Lovers can often talk about a decision, which path we're going to take. But let's see what Tarot has to say for you, Taurus, okay? Thank you, Spirit. We've got the 8 of Wands, overall energy. Whoops, picked up 2 cards there. We've got the Death card. This is in your kind of like what to keep aware of as you move through the month of August. Your advice here is the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands in this deck is the King of Wands in traditional decks. And then you have the 4 of Wands, called Completion, in this deck of cards. I like it for you. Let's take a look. General energy is the 8 of Wands. Swiftness, it's called, in this deck. You can see here, as I hold it up, it's Mercury and Sagittarius. So it's a lot of swift, quick moving communication. And when we associate it with the sign of Sagittarius, it's communication that is hitting its target. It's directed at a specific target. It's coming from a specific source, directed at a specific target, and usually it's definitely hitting its mark. We've got the rainbow there and all the beautiful colors, and I just love the way it looks like these lightning bolts are just, radiating outwards. So something that you have been either manifesting or wanting to create is growing, right? It's just spreading. The Eight of Wands can also talk about an aha moment, when something just becomes clear and you have this breakthrough which allows you to move forward. That's a little more of a esoteric interpretation of the Eight of Wands, but I found for me that it applies fairly often. You've got right here this little lightning bolt rune, the rune of Sewillow, which is a rune of light, of hope, of success. So I feel like this whole month for you, Taurus, is a lot of success coming in, a lot of communication regarding that success, advice, what to do, how to move forward, or just a lot of plans and a lot of activity going on, right, that you're actually communicating and talking to people about. Before I forget, I do want to just say that Mercury is going to go retrograde later this month in, I think, the August 23rd or 26th, something like that. You might want to look it up. So you might want to get whatever communications you need to get done, whatever things that you need to get done in writing, whatever things that are associated even with electricity, electronics. We're talking about your home here. If you're wiring up new sprinklers outside, or if you're doing some kind of electrical work on your house, you might want to try to get that done before Mercury goes into retrograde. Okay, now what to be aware of here is the Death card. So this is saying that you are on this, you're on the precipice of massive change. So the Death card is when you realize that that change is here and there's really kind of nothing you can do about it. You know that it's coming, right? And if you're in a good place, you will embrace that change, because change is inevitable. In this case, it's a major arcana card. There's nothing you can do about it. We'll pull some clarifiers in a minute, but for me, generally the Death card, and I'm a Scorpio, so I don't fear the Death card. Death card tells me that I'm progressing along on my spiritual path or on my journey. Take it how it resonates for you. This is a general reading, right? But you are aware, I think, that something is shifting for you and changing right now. You have the Knight of Wands as your advice. This is the King of Wands in traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot decks. And you can see all that beautiful fiery energy. I'm really drawn to these flames that are coming up here on the bottom. They kind of look like waves to me as well, waves of flaming energy and fire. I'm connecting it to this Eight of Wands card for some reason. So I feel like whatever information you receive, whatever communications you receive this month, Taurus, they're going to kind of enable you to take off. They're like the wind beneath your wings in a sense, but they create the ability for you to act. The King of Wands is very entrepreneurial as well, very ambitious. So follow your ambitions this month is what I'm hearing. If there's something that you are trying to accomplish, move forward with confidence. You will be able to achieve this goal as long as you avoid as long as you avoid hubris. Don't be too obnoxious or too full of yourself, but definitely have that confidence and that power as you move forward, right? And don't apologize, I'm hearing, for some reason. Don't apologize for your confidence or for your skills. Again, it doesn't mean that you have to be obnoxious, but just, be aware that you have the skill set to move forward, and you have the connections I'm seeing, and you've built this solid foundation. All right, at the end of the month, we have the energy of the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is a card of completion, it says here, but we can see it's Virgo and Aries, and so we're like completion, and yet Aries, what's up with that? Aries is a sign of new beginnings. So this is kind of like a mini version of the World card, that Four of Wands card. It says that, yes, you've successfully completed something, a milestone of some sort, but there's still more work to be done. You've completed something, especially with that Death card, but now you move on to the second phase. Phase 2 or phase 3. It's like, I always talk about it because people like to look at the Four of Wands and think of it as a marriage card. So we can think of it, as a marriage card. It's like you got married. Congratulations. That's something to celebrate. It is a big accomplishment in and of itself. But now there's all that relationship work that you do for the rest of your life, right? It doesn't just end. The story doesn't end with the marriage. It keeps going. You may end up having children, you may, end up doing all sorts of things. But it's just a phase, it's a milestone. So there's where that Aries energy comes in. So I feel like whatever activity you complete this month, it's just kind of an exciting beginning of something else. Especially with that Knight of Wands. It feels very exciting to me. It feels like you've got something really spectacular brewing, Taurus. So I kind of like it. Let's get some more clarifiers and see what else we got. Thank you, Spirit. Please give me clear and accurate messages for Taurus, please. Clear and accurate messages for Taurus. And I love that we have the lizards and the King of Wands, because salamanders are kind of often associated with fire signs and with the King of Wands, and that's a sign of regeneration. And we've got the Death card, so I feel like there's a lot of powerful rebirth energy happening for you here this month, Taurus. All right, let's see what else we got for you. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we have, look at that, the Death card again. We've got the Two of Swords coming in. We've got the King of Cups, two kings right underneath each other. And then we have the Judgment card, lovely, right under that Four of Wands. All right, so what I'm seeing here is more of that transition. This communication that you're receiving this month, or these aha moments, or communications that lead to aha moments, they are telling me that they really, again, just like we said, are helping move you forward in that transition. The Two of Swords talks about you being at peace with this transition. Sometimes people will say the negative aspect of the Two of Swords is kind of putting your head in the sand and not wanting to see the change, or not wanting to make a decision, or not acting. So just keep that in mind. I don't know, this could apply differently to everybody. If there's a bit of hesitation on your part, your advice here is really to act. The kings don't just sit around and watch things happen. They make things happen. So I really see this kingly energy in your advice position as being you moving forward from a place of power and compassion. And whatever this is that you're bringing in, it looks like it is very, not just passionate and energetic and happy, exciting kind of event or project or creation that you're bringing in, but it looks like it's something very near and dear to your heart, something that really lets you express yourself emotionally and really gets you in your feels kind of thing. I think overall, though, considering the order of these cards, I'm not getting the negative aspect of this Two of Swords. I think your intuition is really hitting in here, Taurus, and you know that this change is really positive. And so even if you feel a little bit nervous about what's coming down the corner or what you can't see, I think you feel really good about it. You're telling me here that you feel good about it. So I kind of really like that at the end of the month. I love it. We have two really strong cards of completion and endings and new beginnings and rebirths. We've got the Four of Wands, which we already talked about, and then we have the Judgment card. Now the Judgment card can talk about that aha moment, which I like to connect to that Eight of Wands, that moment when you realize that you just have a shift of perception. You have a new level of understanding. It's a level of understanding that raises your consciousness in some way, and then you are never quite the same again. That's why they call it, it's like being born again. Once you have that aha moment, that intuition, that realization. You can never really go back to the way things were before. You become a new person. Very powerful card here with the Aeon. It also talks, or the Aeon is what it would be called in this deck, but the Judgment card here. It also talks to me sometimes, we'll talk about it as a rebirth or a resurrection of things that you've done in the past, but it can also talk about timing, and the timing not quite being there yet. With that Hold Your Vision card, it tells me that you're close, but sometimes you need to take a pause and recognize that the timing may not be perfect yet. Yeah, so then we've got the Two of Discs popping out for you. A lot of change. This is you being really busy during this month, Taurus. But let me get one more clarifier here on that Four of Wands and the Judgment card, because I'm nosy and I want to see what specifically that's referring to, if we can find that out. Spirit doesn't always like to be so specific, especially not with these general readings. But you got the Nine of Cups popping out. So the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. This is something you've been hoping for. It'll be different for everybody, right? But something you've really been hoping for is coming through for you by the end of the month. Something that you may have felt really sad about too. Something that you may have thought you weren't getting. Yeah, some kind of decision that was made. You thought the decision was made against you, but your intuition knew that things were going to work out. Let's see what else we got. The Magician. Yeah, your power. So I feel like with all those cards popping out, this new resurrection is something that may have on the surface seemed like it was over, but it's not. And now I'm getting different messages. For some of you, that is a relationship might be coming back. A romantic relationship might be coming back. Five of Wands, something that brought you a lot of aggravation. And then the Four of Swords is telling me that you healed from it. You might be, a Prince of Cups coming in. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be a message for you when the Chariot card at the bottom there. Yeah, I think somebody's going to be like kind of plowing in. This is a separate message coming in for some of you, Taurus. You may be getting another call from an old relationship, an old friend, an old situation, something that you thought was over and done with, that caused you a bit of aggravation, some pain, discomfort, and it could be coming back. How you deal with it will be up to you. Let's see, how should Taurus deal with that situation? I mean, we may as well. What's Taurus's advice? Your overall advice is to be in this King of Wands and King of Cups energy. So I feel this magnanimous, forgiving energy, but that doesn't mean that you have to go back to an old situation. Yeah, the Hermit. Dig deep down inside, look within to see how you want to move forward for that. And the Four of Cups. Yeah, I think that whatever this offer is, it's coming in again. This specifically, if it's about a relationship, I feel like it's about a relationship. It ain't the be-all, end-all. You might want to rethink allowing the situation back into your life. But that, again, general reading, this will resonate differently with everyone. Okay, so let me show you the runes that you got. You got here, as we said, this little lightning bolt, the lightning bolt rune. It's not really what it's called. It's called the rune of Sewillow. It's light, hope, success, positivity, remaining positive. That's that King of Wands energy. You also got this rune of Uruz, which is a rune of strength, determination. It's also sometimes considered a rune of freedom, of like breaking free, using your strength to break free of a situation that had you overburdened in a way. It's associated with the oryx, and which is an ancestor of the cow, of the modern cow. So you can kind of see that energy, that strong. It always makes me think of like a bull energy. It's connected to the god Thor, but it always makes me think of Taurus, of you, even though I think it is connected to Taurus, but also to Cancer. And then we also have this rune of Rideho, which is quite literally a wheel. And so I find that kind of interesting. But it also talks about safe journeys, about progress that's being made, and about changes, but planned changes that you have created for yourself And so again, with that whole gardening thing that we were getting, and this death card, these transitional energies that are coming in, I feel pretty strongly that these are changes that you are welcoming and that you have been planning for a while now. All right, Taurus, you also got, when I threw the dice, you got Mercury. Yeah, Mercury in Virgo in the 6th house. So that's pretty interesting. You can take that how it resonates. I'm not going to get too into the astrological dice. I'm not an astrologer. I do think they inform the tarot, but I think that's interesting. I think Mercury's going retrograde in Virgo at the end of the month, but again, double check my astrological statements there. I know it's going retrograde. I'm not 100% sure that it's going retrograde in Virgo, but I think it is. But regardless, that will kind of take us back to that need to complete things that involve communication, or even electronics or negotiations. If this is a new project, a new business, a new deal, contract that you're signing, make sure, try to get that done before Mercury goes into retrograde, because Virgo is the sign of details and being analytical, and you may miss some things if you wait till the end, if you wait till after Mercury goes retrograde. I see it here in your 6th house. 6th house is the house of work. Whoops, sorry, I'm holding it, looking at myself, not at you. 6th house is the house of work, job. So if you're looking to sign a new contract in relation to a job you have, again, try to do that before Mercury goes into retrograde. I've of course, the caveat being, if this is something that you've tried to do before and couldn't get it done, it might happen after Mercury goes into retrograde. If this is something that is being resurrected or brought back from the depths of being brought back from the grave, so to speak, if this is a deal that you're renegotiating after some time, then it's okay to sign contracts during Mercury retrograde, is what I am told. Again, everybody's situation will be different, so. Okay, what I want to do now is pull you one final oracle card. These are kind of like parting words of wisdom from Spirit, and I know a lot of people sometimes are like, what? But I think that this final card really does generally sum up pretty well what we've been talking about. So let's see what Spirit has to say for Taurus, please. What parting words of wisdom do you have for Taurus? Be true to your heart. Be true to your heart. All right, I like to read from the book for this one because I think the text that comes with this book is really beautiful, and I love to share it. So it's number 26. I'm going to hold it up to you so you can meditate on this beautiful golden image. It's so summery. I love it. Be true to your heart. In this moment, draw on the energies of harmony and union when making a choice. The current situation is best supported using intuition and not intellect. There may be difficult decisions to be made that are not necessarily about love. Consciously be aware of what interests you, what attracts your attention, what stirs your imagination, and what creates passion in your life. Do your best to ignore the persuasion of what others might think or say. Trust yourself and don't allow your opinion to be swayed. Hold your vision there with that fixed moon. I love it. Hold your vision, Taurus. All right. I think I might call it hold your vision, or hold your passionate vision, because I feel a lot of passion coming in here, especially, with the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups, the King of Wands and the King of Cups. Very beautiful. All right, Taurus, I hope you found this helpful and just darn fun. If you did, if you could hit that like button for me, that would really help me out. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, go ahead and do that. I would love that. All right, Taurus, have a great month. I will catch you next time. Bye.